What we've seen since the vote is that people don't want to invest in the UK, certainly not in London, because of the lack of clarity. And as we all heard so many times, uncertainty is the one thing really affecting business decisions. And I think in the current environment, even the currency advantage, which is so much talked about, is of little consolation when you have complete uncertainty of what you're buying, what you're selling in 7 or 8 years' time. And so, especially when you consider also the fact that the UK market, in particular London, was at a peak level prior to the whole thing. So clearly, we have about 45 mostly institutional investors. And the general view, with the exception of obviously opportunistic investors who always do any deal where they think there's a real good value or discount available, institutional investors hold back certainly from continental Europe. But we'll see. It's going to be very interesting. I don't think that there's clarity at all. There are significant differences between the two markets. Clearly, the UK is a much more developed market, as others have said before. In the hotel sector, Europe has much more opportunity still. The UK resembles probably the most the American market. UK also offers higher returns, even though the cost of financing in the UK is much higher than it is in continental Europe. It's very similar to the US, because the US has always been having a higher cost of capital for a number of reasons, including the fact that liquidity in real estate destinations there is much higher, and therefore the risk is higher. But anyway, so the UK resembles most the US market on many levels, and that I think will stay. Continental Europe has huge opportunities because effectively the same thing that happened in travel, i.e. the whole low-cost air travel, has actually rippled through and is still rippling through the hotel market. We look at markets like Berlin, which I always like to call a cemetery for five-star hotels, which it is, because it's been very, very poor investment for five-star hotels. On the other hand, the tourist arrivals in Berlin or other destinations like that have grown for 10, 15 years, 5 or 6%. So if you build a 3-star hotel, in spite of the development of 3-star hotels, it's still a pretty good market. Anyway, so the growth in continental Europe is coming through, and on top of it, actually Europe will benefit a lot from the political issues and insecurity in North Africa and Middle East, because it had moved we made a research, about 25 million of travelers have actually avoided North Africa, Middle East, and shifted over towards the southern part of Europe over the last 5-6 years as a result of all the turmoil in the Middle East. Anyway, so I think continental Europe is interesting, even though pricing is getting more and more competitive. Yields have been coming down dramatically.